Today is a very auspicious day, Appearance Day of Srila Bhakti Vedanta Vaman Gosai Maharaj, Disappearance Day of Srila Bhakti Vedanta Narayan Gosai Maharaj, and also Srila Bhakti Niketan Turyashrami Gosai Maharaj. So, most senior is Srila Vaman Gosai Maharaj. His uncle was disciple of Prabhupada, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, and his mother also. But father was not so inclined, so mother thought better he should go to mat early, so as not to come under the influence of his father. So she sent him as a very young boy to Mayapur Chaitanya Mat, and there he was received by his uncle who was already staying there, and he introduced him to Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur and also to Narahari Prabhu and Srila Bhakti Binod Bihari Prabhu. Later Srila Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Goswami Maharaj, because they were in charge at that time of managing the mat. So as a young boy, he got this opportunity to serve all the Vaishnavas, like bringing plates before prasad and putting salt and cleaning bathrooms and so many things. He was doing all seva. Then he also received Harinam initiation from Prabhupada, and he was engaged in many different sevas and also studying. Then all seva he was doing very attentively under the guidance of Binod Bihari Prabhu. All seva. And also studying. Then after the disappearance of Prabhupada, then there was some false accusations about one murder that it happened in the mat, and some devotees, they were arrested, including Binod Bihari Prabhu, and many other devotees, they were staying in prison house. That was false accusation, but for some time they were there. So at that time, he served them in the prison, cooking for them and bringing prasad. But some were uncomfortable because he did not yet receive mantra diksha. Harinam is most important, but some, they were feeling uncomfortable. So then Srila Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Goswami Maharaj, that time Binod Bihari, gave him mantra initiation in prison. While in prison, there is no obstacles for mercy. So then he was serving. All the time he was inclined to serve Vaishnavas. And then later, when Binod Bihari Prabhu came out, took sannyas, and they started Gauriya Vedanta Samiti, Mat, Devananda Gauriya Mat. That time he joined with him because he always considered him as his guru, because he was all the time under him and also learning everything from him. So then he also got sannyas and was entrusted with so many sevas. There were 3 pillars, Srila Vaman Gosai Maharaj and Srila Narayan Gosai Maharaj and Srila Trivikram Gosai Maharaj. They were the pillars. So also he was in the publishing of books, Bengali. You will find in prefaces every time he is there and preaching. Then before his disappearance, Srila Keshav Gosai Maharaj already announced that he will be his successor. And he also said for one more, that Prajatak Maharaj will be after him. That time he was young. So then Vaman Gosai Maharaj became Acharya, and was taking care of all the mats and everything with expertise, very peaceful nature and harmonizing, and also very sober, very grave, deep, and he also took one Western disciple, but he said, I will not take anymore because they are asking so many questions. They are not surrendered, so they are not getting revelation in their heart, so they are asking so many questions, and I cannot answer all the time. So, but he said this duty was given by Gurudev, means Srila Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Gosai Maharaj, to Srila Narayan Gosai Maharaj. He took this duty to take care of foreign preaching. Vaman Maharaj told him, this is our Gurudev gave this seva to you. So I want to read something from Srila Vaman Gosai Maharaj. Maybe I met him, but I'm not sure. In 2002, when we were doing parikrama with our Gurudev, we came to Devananda Gauriya Math like every year. That time he was still present, but I don't remember whether he was that time also on stage or maybe in Bhajan Kutir or late. I don't know, because that time I was new. I did not know who is who yet. Maybe, I don't know. So I want to read something from Srila Vaman Gosai Maharaj. This was one letter he wrote. Shri Guru, the Vaishnavas, and Shri Bhagavan, these three are antarjami. In other words, they are the internal witnesses and know our heart. They see the truth and speak the truth. They extend their causeless compassion to the conditioned souls of this world in ways that are unnoticed by mortal intelligence and inconceivable to it. We are unable to see how they are merciful to us. That is beyond our comprehension. Truly, nothing in this world can compare to their compassion. Only a soul who possesses sufficient spiritual merit can fathom something of their unsurpassed compassion. Shri Guru and Bhagavan see into the core of our hearts, longing to see the innermost love and devotion of the sadhakas and sadhikas. Sadhikas means female sadhikas blossom. Shri Guru and Shri Bhagavan fulfill their desires in ways that are at times obvious and at others unseen. What they are doing, we cannot understand. They can see, but we are conditioned souls, so we are unable to. In this way, they secure the sadhakas and sadhikas conviction in sadhan bhajan. Without being exclusively dedicated to bhajan, how else can one reap any genuine results? Uttam hoya apanare mane trinadham. A person who is truly situated on an advanced stage of bhakti deems himself more insignificant than a piece of straw. This mentality is the sole requisite and the meter of one's eligibility to obtain the mercy of Shri Guru and Bhagavan. Means humbleness. Our Gurudev also explained, Guru Kripa is Nimnaga, always going down. Like water is naturally going down. Like that, Kripa is going down. Means to a person who is humble, who surrenders. If the deep passion to engage in devotion the Bhakti Vritti, fails to rise in one's heart, do you think it is possible for one to receive causeless mercy? Causeless mercy, of course, does not depend on any condition, and yet it will escape the reach of one bereft of bhakti. Yogyata bichare kichu nahi pae tomara karuna sar. When I look for my own eligibility, I find that I have none. Your compassion is the essence of everything I have. Every sadhaka or sadhika expresses his or her feelings of humility with such heartfelt prayer. Despite being established in the rightful eligibility to receive the grace of Sri Guru and Bhagavan, it is the devotee's innate propensity to express such humility. That alone is his real merit and the wealth of his sadhana. The humility is really his heroic glory. Causeless mercy is something that escapes the appreciation of someone beset by mundane conceit and egotism. In a state of such egotism, a person's impetus and longing to serve cannot fully flourish, and he fails to perceive the omniscience of Sri Guru and Bhagavan. Gripped by mundane vanity, the conditioned soul is locked into foolish arrogance, similar to that of a bloated puffing frog that disparages the ocean on the assumption that nothing surpasses his dingy waterhole only because he has been forever stuck in it. He even thinks that he can slide the whole earth. So that frog is inside the well, so he is disrespecting the ocean because he does not have any estimation of the ocean. He thinks, no, nothing is superior to what I see here. So like that, if someone is arrogant, he cannot see the qualities of omniscience of Guru and Bhagavan. Those who have found shelter, however, surpass all obstacles and hurdles on the strength of their bhakti and become illuminated with the divine, unsurpassable compassion of Sri Guru and Bhagavan. Ashoka abai amrita adar tomara charana doy, tahate ekon bishram lobya charinu bhavero bhoy. From Bhaktivinoda Thakur. Your 2 feet are the foundation of immortal existence, free from sorrow and fear. Finding solace in their shelter, I have now shed my mortal terror of material existence. The above verse represents the ardent prayers of devotees who are resolute in loving service. Shri Guru Vaishnav Bhagavan tiner smarane hoy bigna binashan, Chaitanya Charitamrita. Shri Guru, the Vaishnavas and Bhagavan, even remembrance of these 3 obliterates all obstacles. By extolling their qualities, the heart is cleansed and the multitude of anarthas and impediments to the process of bhajan are cast far away. No vanity or egotism can survive in a heart that is honestly wrapped in hearing, chanting, and remembering the glories of Sri Guru and Bhagavan. Such persons have been initiated into the religion of honoring all others with no expectation of receiving respect in return. They have already abandoned all such adversities to bhajan. This indeed is the undeniable and conclusive truth. Vaishnaver gunogan korile jiber tran. If the soul sings of the Vaishnava's glories, he will obtain deliverance. According to this statement, it is essential to offer prayers, praises, and hymns to Sri Guru and Vaishnavas, even though they are in fact equipoised, being satisfied in the bliss of their own bhajan, and completely aloof from any external gain. So then it goes further, but there are other. So he's a realized soul, pure devotee. There are many of his pastimes mentioned by his disciples, very miraculous also. He once also was present at 2 times in 2 different places for the sake of disciples and Vaishnavas. So his glories are unlimited. I'm remembering his Samadhi Mandir in Devananda Gauriya. I used to go on his disappearance day to Devananda Gauriya during Kartik. So I'm remembering his Samadhi Mandir, and also Bhajan Kutir is there in Navadip, Devananda Gauriya, and bowing down to him and praying his causeless mercy. Then, today is also the disappearance day of Srila Bhakti Vedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj. He's very famous all over the world because of his seva. He was also, first, he was married, but by the preaching of Narottammananda Prabhu, he got attracted to Gauriya, although he was a devotee from birth, but attracted to Gauriya Siddhanta, and he was a policeman before. That is why his whole life he was very strict. If you meet him, you will find very serious and strict, grave, also joking, but inside the room and very affectionate, but outside very strict and strong. I heard from one his disciple, they were beaten by him also in Punjab when young brahmacharis, they were doing Nagar Sankirtan, and after some time they start to enjoy the kirtan and jumping and like this. Immediately he noticed and he started to beat them. That is, of course, out of compassion. They always want we should be engaged in the service of Krishna, not our enjoyment. That is their compassion. So then Narottammananda Brahmachari later became Srila Madhusudan Maharaj, his disciple of Prabhupada. So he was brought to Srila Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Goswami Maharaj, and he fully surrendered to him and joined the mat and was doing all seva. Especially he was traveling with Srila Keshav Goswami Maharaj everywhere for preaching. Then also he got responsibility for Keshav Ji Gauriya Mat in Mathura, that branch, and from there one Hindi magazine was published, because Srila Narayan Maharaj appeared in Bihar, that is in between Bengal on one side and Hindi speaking another side. So those who are living there, they know both the languages. So he knew both. So one of his main sevas was to publish that magazine and also to translate the Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur's books, which are original in Bangla, into Hindi. So he translated like Jaiva Dharma, Chaitanya Shikshamrita, and other Bhajan Rahasya, other books of Bhaktivinoda Thakur into Hindi. Our mat also using those, his Hindi translations. And then later, and Prem Pradeep, and so many, all books of Bhaktivinoda Thakur. And later also he was translating the books of Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, many books, Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu Bindu, and Prem Samput, and so many books. Madhurja Kadambini also I mentioned nowadays. So many books he translated, and staying in Brajadam, and our Gurudev told he was very helpful to all Vaishnavas, including in our mat also he come to help. And you will find when our Parangurudev installed deities in our Gokul Mahavan mat, you will find Srila Narayan Goswami Maharaj there, is present in our Calcutta mat. In the photos of Parangurudev, you will see him there. So our Gurudev told he came to many functions and was encouraging. And that is why our Gurudev also has long time relationship with him. They were friends. When I was in Italy in 2009 on Srila Narayan Goswami Maharaj's program, then when I was speaking with Srila Maharaj in the park on the bench when asking question like this, so they told him I am disciple of Gurudev. Then he said, how is he? I said, okay. Is he still coming outside in the West? I said, no, now he's not coming. Oh, now he stopped. He's my friend, he said. So I saw, they were meeting in Mayapur, Parikrama, and when we came there to their mat like this. So these books are invaluable. Later on, he empowered his followers that they translated from Hindi to English. Now all these books are available in English also by his grace. And as you know, he was also the priest when Srila A.C. Bhakti Vedanta Sai Maharaj took sannyas. That was in Mathura, in that mat. And also he was assisting Srila Sai Maharaj when he was preaching outside with many things, sending mridanga and all whatever was necessary. And he also used to do, he used to lead Brajamandal Parikramas every year in since long time, and also Navadip Parikrama, very all service he was doing. Our Gurudev, I heard personally from him, he said, Srila Narayan Goswami Maharaj, he has this quality, he wants to serve all Vaishnavas. He wants to serve all Vaishnavas. I heard from Gurudev. So, also, one devotee, he felt I maybe committed some offense to Srila Narayan Maharaj because of some my thinking. So that devotee requested me that I should send apology to Srila Narayan Goswami Maharaj by email. So I did. That was in maybe 2003 or so. And I also, in between also, I said, if I committed any offense also, you please forgive. Then he wrote back that I did not take any offense, especially not from sincere devotees. If you will always do Shravan Kirtan, then you will be able to respect all Vaishnavas. This was his reply. And I met him first time in 1999 in Mathura, their mat, because we came with Gurudev Parikrama. And as I tell every time, because I heard about him and I was very attentive, where is he? But he was not there. And we were doing Kirtan. So I was seeing that side. And then one time I turned around and then he was like this, 20 centimeters in front of me with those blue eyes, very beautiful. Then I was like struck like this, very beautiful, because he came from behind. Then they spoke Harikatha, our Gurudev and he together they were speaking, and our Gurudev was more jolly mood, smiling, but Narayan Maharaj very strict, very serious and speaking. And then at the end, everyone could touch his feet. The system, he would sit and I also touch to receive mercy. So all the books, Shikastaka, Upadeshamrita, and all these books he translated. What our Gurudev told us to read, everything was provided by him. So we are eternally indebted to him. And then, of course, I also met him in 2005, Brajamandal Parikrama. That time, when his sannyasi said, I came to their house, then Narayan Maharaj, he lifted hand, my blessing. And then in 2009, Italy, and then in Delhi, same year, I met him in that Raman Bihari Gauriya Math in Delhi. So those were the golden times. Such pure devotees, we got the opportunity to meet them and get their grace and encouragement. So then he was also helping many ISKCON leaders, answering their questions and guiding, and he did Samadhi of Srila Sai Maharaj and was requested by him to take care of his disciples. And he was also praying for forgiveness for all offenses to his god brothers that Srila Narayan Maharaj would convey to all his god brothers. And Srila Narayan Maharaj did, and they forgave, and all this. Then he was also preaching from 1996, and all over the world he went many times, and so many souls he awakened, and Sai Maharaj's disciples also, and so much service. Our Gurudev said he was preaching so much all over the world, spreading the message of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And then in 10, I was in Delhi. That was during Kartik or a little before, I'm not sure, maybe during Kartik. So one devotee, one Srila Narayan Goswami Maharaj's disciple, he wrote to me that Srila Narayan Maharaj is not well, health. So he already requested to go to Govardhan. So if I can tell our Gurudev. So I told to Gurudev, and Gurudev said, this is this world. No one can stay in this world. Even our Guru Vargas, they come and they go. So then later also the disciple came, and our Gurudev spoke that this is his disappearance lila. Those who have transcendental eyes, they can see. Sai Maharaj also wanted to go to Govardhan before his disappearance. Then he was in Puri after that, and there was upcoming Vyasa Puja. So our Gurudev wrote one letter to him from Calcutta. And there also Gurudev told, I have a desire to meet you. Then Srila Narayan Maharaj, reading that sentence, he said, if Krishna wills, it will be possible. So, but then ultimately Srila Narayan Goswami Maharaj, he disappeared from Puri Dham. And we were doing Mangal Arati. Then our god brother, Tatpar Maharaj, he came to me during Jayadvani and he told me, Srila Narayan Maharaj of Devananda Gauriya Math aprakat, means he disappeared. So this is how we came to know. Then there was Samadhi in Navadip, where his Samadhi is there. And our Gurudev was also informed, and Gurudev was very sad and also surprised because he thought his health was improving. Then they told him, actually, Srila Narayan Goswami Maharaj said, if Krishna wills, it will be possible that we can meet. Then Gurudev said, oh, now it will not be possible. Sadness, he said. Then after some time, Guru said, but it is not impossible. Sometimes it happens also. Then he gave example of Narayan Thakur when he was going towards Vrindavan. At that time, Rupa and Sanatan, they were not physically present. They already disappeared. But they appeared to Narayan Thakur and Rupa and Sanatan, they appeared to him to bless him, and they gave him milk. They gave milk. So Guru said, it is not impossible, it is possible. We can meet. So means Gurudev revealed they are not ordinary persons. And then in Mayapur also our Gurudev told, actually I wanted to meet him, but Krishna already took him to him. So like this. And many Srila Narayan Goswami Maharaj's disciples, they came to our Gurudev after his disappearance, and Gurudev would pacify them by telling them, you should not think your Gurudev is ordinary, he is serving Radha Krishna in that plane, so you should remember him always and you serve according to his instructions. And those who have transcendental eyes, they can see where he is now situated. So you go on, he would encourage all. And I used to hear what Gurudev would tell them, but one day someone from France, that I think Vishwambarananda or something, he came to meet Gurudev, but it was like 3 p.m. or something. At that time I was sleeping, rest. So later on at 5 or something, I was there in temple room. Then suddenly they came to me, Vishwambarananda and 1 or 2 more devotees. They came to me. Are you Madan Gopal? I said yes. Your Gurudev sent us to you. Then I was surprised. Why? Then they told that we came to him, we met him, and he spoke about our Gurudev, Srila Narayan Goswami Maharaj, and at the end he also said, you should also meet Madan Gopal. So then I was surprised, but I thought it is causeless mercy of Guru, because usually I was always present when such meetings would happen and I would hear. I had desire to hear. So I thought it is Gurudev's causeless mercy. He noticed I'm not there, so he's sending them to me, and I inquired from them what our Gurudev told. So they told me, and then also I told them what I heard from Gurudev in previous meetings. So in this way, Gurudev's causeless mercy happened. So also I asked some questions, Srila Narayan Maharaj in person there in Italy. He gave reply and blessing and everything, and also 2 emails I sent him with question. I still have them. And but last, because today is his disappearance, last one was when he was in Govardhan, maybe March 2010 or so. Then through one devotee, I asked Srila Narayan Goswami Maharaj how I can develop firm attachment to Krishna. That is still on YouTube. You can find that video. How to develop firm attachment to Krishna. How I can. Then Srila Narayan Goswami, that was his last message for me, but it is most important. Very simple, but most important. He said, by always chanting Harinam and having attachment to Vaishnava and Guru. In in this way, only this, but it is all is there. Last message for me, everything is there. So his glories are unlimited. I said for my own purification. So I am remembering his Samadhi Mandir in Navadip and bowing down to him and praying his causeless mercy. Those were very good times. All these pure devotees were there to encourage. So now I feel like orphan. They were so compassionate. As Srila Vaman Maharaj before explained, we cannot fathom what they are doing, how they are helping us, we cannot fathom. Gradually we can understand. So then also Srila Bhakti Niketan Turyashrami Maharaj, he disappeared today on same day also. He is from one village near Gwalpara, near to the birthplace of our Gurudev in Assam. So he met Parang Gurudev and was attracted at the age of 14. He was a boy at that time. He came even before our Gurudev, but did not join Mad before. Our Gurudev met later, but he joined the Mad before, and Turyashrami Maharaj little later. But first, he was sent to Sarbo Gauriya Math in Assam. Sarbo, that is Math of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, because you know at that time, after the disappearance of Prabhupada, then first 64 maths were divided into two parts. One was Bagbazar Gauriya Math, one was Chaitanya Math, and they took 32 temples, they took 32. So this Sarbo Gauriya Math belonged to Chaitanya Math, and our Gurudev was preaching in Assam, as you heard, on the order of Prabhupada, and staying in Chaitanya Math and taking disciples. So first Turyashrami Maharaj was sent to Sarbo Gauriya Math and was doing all the services. Then Parang Gurudev initiated him and gave name Bhagavan Das, and he was serving there as Pujari for some time. Then he was shifted to Mayapur to Srivasangan and Advaita Bhavan. There he was serving as a Pujari and cooking also, offering arati, everything. Then later also he was sent to Swananda Sukada Kunja, Bhaktivinoda Thakur's Bhajan Kutir and Samadhi Mandir. There also he was as Pujari. And Jogapit also sometime. Then when our Parang Gurudev came out of Chaitanya Math and he made his own institution, also in Mayapur, Ishodhyan, he started there. So Srila Turyashrami Maharaj Bhagavan Das, that time, he was staying in Mayapur. And under the guidance of Parang Gurudev, he started to study Sanskrit under the guidance of another disciple of Prabhupada. Because Parang Gurudev gave specific order to him, you should learn Sanskrit and you should deeply study all the scriptures. This was his direct order to him, so as to preach to such kind of persons who are in that type of persons, they are more shastric and like this. So to present the Gauriya Vaishnava Siddhanta, so he studied and became very proficient, and he was also engaged in writing all the time. And after the disappearance of Parang Gurudev, he took sannyas from our Gurudev. Although our Gurudev said, how I can give you sannyas? You are a sannyasi. You just manifest your own sannyas form. Why I have to give you sannyas? You just manifest your sannyas form. Then Turyashrami Maharaj, no, you give me sannyas. Then Gurudev gave sannyas. Maybe he was the first one, because in 1979, the same year as Gurudev became Acharya. So then Turyashrami Maharaj was engaged in the service of preaching with our Gurudev and also writing. And I saw him in our mat in Calcutta, but did not have much relation in beginning. Later on, it happened. And also I was hearing his Harikathas in our Calcutta mat. And that time also I could little understand Bangla. So Maharaj was very happy also to speak with me in Bangla. He did not know much English, only few words. But when he came to know, then he was very affectionate all the time in our mat. And all the time, whenever I said, Maharaj, please bless me, he will always say, your Gurudev will bless you. He had full faith in our Gurudev. And all the time he was very encouraging and giving replies to the point. And so many things I cannot say in short time, but I'm indebted to him too much. So much. Even also after the disappearance of Gurudev, he was always there to give appropriate guidance according to situation without me asking. What was going on with me, he already gave exact what was necessary that time. So also I used to ask him one time something in regard to Vedanta Sutra, because I came to know he's learned in all the Shastras. Really he was. So I asked him about one point, and 1 hour he was speaking to me in Bangla. And his Bangla is very simple, clear. So 90% I could understand all points. 1 hour in his Bhajan Kutir. He was very happy to speak. And then another time also I was thinking about one verse of Upanishad, Brihadaranyaka Upanishad. So I came to his room and I saw in his hand, just at that time he was reading Brihadaranyaka Upanishad. It was amazing. I saw. Then I said, Maharaj, there is one verse. If you could explain to me. Then I told him the number, and he opened and he read and spoke very clearly everything. And sometimes I could see in his room, you could enter his room, it was open. But if he was engaged in writing under the light, he would not notice anyone coming, going, or speaking, nothing. He was so absorbed, you could see it was a tick. I came there, gave Dandavat, looking all this, but he was not noticing anyone, anything. He was fully focused, like being there inside. He was writing articles for Chaitanya Vanya like this, and also many from other mats, also followers of Srila Narayan Goswami Maharaj used to come to him, and he would give reply, of course, with translation. So I have very nice memories of him. And also I got indication. It is by some causeless mercy, I don't know. But it happened that year. Suddenly when I was chanting, I got like some kind of glimpse or some glimpse that real devotees, they will do some pastime of illness and then they will disappear. And it was related to Turyashrami Maharaj. He was there in that glimpse. Then I was surprised why I'm getting this. Then after 2 days, the message came that Maharaj is not feeling well. There's some illness like this, and then that started. So then I already understood. I got this glimpse, so he will disappear. But I was not allowed to tell to anyone. If I wanted to tell, I was always stopped within my heart. So then that illness pastime was going on, and I thought I will not meet him. But somehow, by some great fortune, he was still present when I came that Kartik, and I met him. And that time he was already like very weak on bed, and he never blessed me. Always said, "Your Gurudev will bless you." But this time I said, "Maharaj, you please bless me." And I put my head on his bed. At that time he did, of both hands, on head and also shoulders, everywhere. And I felt really, by his grace, I felt transcendental bliss. I felt in my heart by his grace. That was some days before he disappeared, maybe 1 week or so. So that time little he was speaking little. Then so today is his anniversary of disappearance. I'm bowing down to Maharaj. His Samadhi Mandir is there in Mayapur. Some they did Agni Samadhi, and some they kept also in our mat. I saw that Samadhi Mandir. I'm bowing down to Maharaj and praying his causeless mercy. Shobharani, you wanted to say something about your Gurudev? If not, then you type here, no. So I feel like orphan now. Nowadays I feel like orphan. No, all those Vaishnavas, they causeless mercy, really causeless mercy. Now they all disappeared. So, but they're existing, and if we can follow their instructions, then they will be pleased, and they are waiting there for us to come. That is why they came to this world, to take us back home, back to Godhead, where we belong. So we can get their mercy from there also. If we are sincere, we can get, and we have to practice what they instructed. Then that will take us to that realm, back home, back to Godhead, to serve Radha Krishna under the guidance of all their personal associates. They are under Rupa Manjari, our gurus. Under Rupa Manjari and under Kamal Manjari, that is Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, and Nayan Moni Manjari. They are directly under Rupa Manjari, and all our Guru Vargas, they are under them, serving Radha Krishna. So if we will follow their instructions, this will take us to that service there. So I'm praying their causeless mercy.